Thank you so much, Indrani, for this time. I was very excited to meet you. Very, very excited.
Well, thank you. You know, you're such an icon in so much of the world. It's very exciting to get to meet you and to hang out.
Not like you. Well, when it comes to a beautiful, gorgeous, young, and talented girl like you, it's an honor because I always love and I adore women like you, so powerful, very strong character, and you know what you want and you know what you're doing. But you're doing so many things at the same time. We're going to start first with your shoots, with your photos. And I just want you to tell me, what does it make Indrani different with all the other photographers?
Well, for 16 years, I've been working on still photos, photo shoots, and what I love to do is I love to find what makes each person special, what their most unique qualities are, whether it's a celebrity or a singer or a regular person. Everyone has something that is unique and tremendous, and my job is to bring that out and to show it in a visual way, which can be very challenging sometimes, but you know, when you get to know someone, no matter how famous they are or unfamous, you find often something really unexpected when you're really, you know, talking and getting to know who they are inside. So my images, I try to create sort of the template of where they're going to go. So for example, when we shot Beyonce, she was very young, she was doing her first solo album, and she was quite nervous and shy, but we saw in her, you know, what I really felt was she has this great strength and this great personality that hadn't yet come out. And I created an image for her that really showcased who she was going to become. And now people look back on that and they say, that is the image that defines her. At the time, it was like, oh, that's interesting, and it's not a Beyonce we're used to seeing. And now it's like we can't imagine her any other way.
Exactly. So when you want to do a shoot of anybody, I'm not even only talking about stars, do you have to study about them? Like, how do you get to know in order to bring that out in that person, and how long does that take?
I like to spend as long as possible. I mean, it depends on the situation. Sometimes, you know, I only get 10 minutes with someone, and then even in that time, though, you can get to know them. I ask them questions, but I try to really study ahead of time, you know, the important things for them, where their career's been, where it's going, and the projects they're working on. Because I view each person as an artist. I think we're all artists. And whether your job is being a lawyer or a teacher or a singer, you're creating something original and new every day. And so for celebrities especially, they are very much living in that place of the future. So if you have a movie coming out, you know, that becomes your personality for a long time. So that's what I'm excited by, is like what you're feeling inside, and how do we share that with the world.
As an artist, and now that I'm talking to you, I realize how deep you go when you want to do your pictures in order to get what you want, to bring it out. All these big faces you've done, which one was the most challenging and the most interesting?
Well, I'd have to say David Bowie was definitely one of the most interesting. He was the first celebrity that we photographed. And when I say we, I'm talking about myself and my partner, Marcus Klinko. That we're a twosome, and we do all our photography together. We're an ex-couple. But anyway, for me, David Bowie was really, really fascinating because he's the first celebrity, and he really came to us and he said, I love what you do. We were doing colorful pictures of girls. I love what you do. I want you to do something completely different that you've never done before, because I believe that you can. And I love that approach. You know, that's his approach towards everything. It was like, this is very nice. Let's try something else completely different, you know. And he was very challenging just because he's had so many different images. So many great photographers have captured him in different ways. And he's a chameleon. He's always changing. So for me, it was, how do we discover who it is he's going to become? And it was a very, very long shoot. We did maybe 30 different images in one day, and it was incredible.
I'm not going to ask you who was the most difficult one, because I understand I should not ask.
Yes.
No.
Difficult in some way, but you know, we're all difficult, but that's part of what makes it beautiful as well.
And how long you been doing this?
I've been a photographer for 16 years as a professional. In fact, I did photography from when I was 12 years old for me, for fun. It was my passion. And I became a model because of my interest in photography. So I could hang out with photographers and see what they're doing. And I traveled the world as a model, working with all the best photographers. So that was my background. But then I created my school in India from my modeling earnings, which was the most meaningful thing that I did in my life, and it changed my whole perspective, because from being a girl just floating around the world, being quite successful, I suddenly had this responsibility of these children and women who have no options in life, and it really made me become a serious person and focus and say, okay, I love photography, now I have to make a career so I can support this school.
Oh, that is the most interesting thing that I've heard right now. I mean, this is only about you right now, is that you, a beautiful young and model and a photographer, travels all over the world, and you pick India to do your magic. And you've done a great magic, and you are working so hard on, you know, moving this thing and making it as big as it can be in order to help people. I know you are half Bengali. And that makes it very interesting for me, you know. Hello, namaste. So tell me about yourself first, then we're going to go to school.
Sure. Well, I was born in India, in Calcutta, and my family is an aristocratic family. We have a big old palace. It's all falling to pieces now. But I lived there till I was 8, and you know, for me, that's my home. Even though I don't speak the language, and the people say I don't look Indian, but I think I do, and I feel very, very Indian. So I lived in England and Canada for many years, but I always wanted to go home. And I studied Sanskrit in college. I went to Princeton, and I made them revive Sanskrit because they'd stopped teaching it. I said, no, I have to learn it. And I got all the students to sign a petition. And we created actually a program in South Asian studies, which they didn't have anymore. So I spearheaded that. Because I think India has so much richness, so much history, so much culture. And even Indians living there don't know their own history because it's been so taken over by the Western perspective. And I want to turn that around. I want people to understand the richness of the heritage we have. And so that was my background, is, you know, as an intellectual, I love India. As a passionate person, I love India. But, you know, because I'm half English, I suppose I maybe... I feel even much closer to India than I do to anywhere else, even though I don't live there anymore.
About the school now, that you are putting so much effort, as you said, all the earnings went to the school, and it looks like even when I see your face, your eyes, when you talk about the school, it's just your eyes, you know, it's not like you're just doing it for your own, like you're doing it for your heart. And I can see that flash in your eyes, and that's very interesting. And usually, you know, young girls don't do these things. Everybody needs their money somehow. They want to go travel. And I really, really, truly appreciate what I see of your true artist and beautiful, beautiful, beautiful girl. So what is the name of the school?
The school is called Shakti Empowerment Education,
Oh,
which is,
Shakti.
yes, which is SEE for short. So it's cschool.org is the website. And Shakti is, of course, the female energy, the principle of energy. And the goal of the school is to empower women. It's a school for boys and girls because we really believe that in order to empower women, you also have to educate the men, the boys, to respect them and understand what they're capable of, so that there is equality. You know, it requires both males and females to create that. And really, you know, my inspiration has been my father. He's just a wonderful person who's always wanted to go back and give back to lift up the people that he saw as a child also, you know, suffering around him. And so I dragged him out of retirement when I saved up some money. He was retired in Canada, very comfortable, and I said, look, it's now or never. Let's go. Let's make this school. This is what you always dreamed about. You always told me, you know, we should do something, so let's do it. And he did, and he's actually been the one there every day in, day out for 15 years now, raising 300 children and providing education for these women. Also, we have a library, a homeopathic clinic, and we do microfinancing for women in the villages. So we have these village collectives where they take a 7-month training program, and then they're able to really lift themselves up because they can buy chickens, or they buy equipment to do some light machinery. And they're suddenly able to provide not just for their children, but also for the community. They can employ their neighbors, and it's a cycle of positive growth that is incredible to see, that transformation from being helpless and begging and saying, you just give me something to eat, to being in that place where they can help others. And it's very beautiful to see that.
I would love to be part of your organization. Honestly, I would love to when it comes to women and education. You know, every day, no matter how much you do, is never enough.
Yes.
Even if there are beautiful people out there that do help all these charities, they do charities and they want to help, I think more is still is not enough.
Absolutely.
So let's say if there are people watching and everybody, most people, they love to be part of this financially or physically, voluntarily. If we all want to do something, what is the first step?
The easiest thing is to go to the website, which is www.seeschool.org. That's SEE school.org. And there's a very easy way to donate. And really every dollar makes such a big difference because our school has very low overheads. A lot of charities spend a lot of money on advertising and on infrastructure. Ours, it all goes to the children and the women. So you can donate there. Even $20 can buy a whole set of books for children. You can make a huge difference with a small contribution. Of course, big contributions are even very great too. You know, we're opening a computer lab, trying to give the children access to the world in that way. So anything you do can be a great help. The other thing I think that's very important is for people to just also see what they can do in their communities. You know, there's many different ways to help, and if something appeals to you, then go for it, because at the end of the day, you're giving a great gift to yourself. You start out, you think you're helping others, but I have to say, I have gained so much from this charity. My father, he's almost 80. He's like a young man because he's fulfilled. Yeah, he has so much energy from these kids. You know, Ojoy Pal Chaudhry, my dad, is like, he's a real hero for me because every day he gets up and he spends all his time with the kids, and he's smiling and happy. And these children, they're beautiful. The smiles they give you, there's nothing like it.
I would love to go and shoot that place and show it to everyone, see the kids, see your dad. Since I travel a lot to India, hopefully next time, if you can go with me, we go together. If not, I'll go and meet Dad and do the shoot with Dad.
Well, you should check out our show also, because, you know, I had a television show. It's called Double Exposure. We just finished airing, but now it's available on iTunes. It's a show on Bravo. And it's a show about the fashion photography that I do. But we also went to India, and we went to the school briefly. And actually, I brought my partner who had never been to India, and he had a meltdown. It was a terrible crisis because he was so overwhelmed by the poverty, and it's very hard.
It's the first time that's what happens to you.
Yeah, it's very hard. But then we were at the school, and he saw how beautiful it is that the kids are, you know, that their lives are changing, and they're having all these opportunities. So it was fun.
Oh, that's great. So your show, now going back to the show you're doing, how long have you been doing this show?
It's been
Double Exposure.
Yes, Double Exposure. There's been 6 episodes. It's a single season on Bravo so far, and then there'll be a next season. And what's very exciting about this show is it's about how we create the images. So, you know, I was talking about finding the unique qualities in each subject. And on the show, you get to come behind the scenes and watch us shoot Lady Gaga, Naomi Campbell, Lindsay Lohan.
Oh, excuse me. So it means I was going to offer you that you can use me as one of the phrases that you can create something in the
Well, I'd
show.
love to. You're beautiful.
But I'm not Lady Gaga or I'm not Lindsay Lohan.
But that's the whole point. You're unique. Everyone is unique. You know, you don't want to become someone else. You be yourself.
That's true. But we would also love to come when you're doing your show. We like to come and see behind the scene if it's possible to do that, because the more I'm talking to you, more I'm falling in love with you as a woman who appreciates anyone doing anything for women out there, especially Middle East, Asia. We are different.
Yes.
We are very, very different. Rich culture, and unfortunately, sometimes the rich culture puts us in a situations that if we do have the education right next to it, and people like you, your dad, or other people that do all these beautiful educational things and help, that could really, really help so many.
Yeah, I think, women in India and the Middle East, they're very powerful women, but they're, without the education, they don't have the means to use that power to really lift up the society the way they could. So it's very important for me to encourage that, because it's not just education, it's also believing in yourself. I'm even in America, I'm one of the only directors. I'm now also a commercial director. I'm one of the only women who's a director. So even here, there is still these stereotypes and problems, and it's difficult to go into some areas, and there's no reason for it. Maybe I'm not so strong to hold a very heavy camera, so I use a lighter one, or I have someone to hold it for me. But exactly. So I think, there's nothing that women can't do, and these things, it's very easy in a way to be an artist. You can create beautiful things. It's very hard when you have nothing and you're very poor and you have to support a lot of people. So I'm very moved by the power and the passion that these women have. They're very smart and they work so hard.
Very strong.
Very strong.
We see all these tiny women that they don't even eat. They give the food to the kids, whatever they make, but they still keep going for it. They like that Shakti you were talking
Absolutely.
about. That's the Shakti.
The life force.
The life force that we're talking about.
Yeah.
It's
so
amazing.
we have to nourish that. We have to encourage these women, and then we will be really blown away by the amazing results that they can bring to the world.
Exactly. I know that so many people, beautiful people in Hollywood, everywhere, are supporting you with your foundation. With your school. But I still think again and again, more and more is still less. And I would love to see that all these beautiful doctors we have, anyone who can, just bring their hands and shake hands with you and your school. I'm part of it too. Okay, now from now on, please put my name in your list, and that will be one of my aims, or one of my list, my itinerary, that definitely to go see the school and do whatever we can to help the women out there. Again, I know you said also men too, but women rule at the house. So let's protect the woman a little bit more. But anyway, no, I'm just joking. But tell me something. What is coming up for you? What is anything exciting we need to know? Any gossip we need to know? Anything?
There's always a lot of rumors. Having a television show, there were many, many rumors. None of them are true.
Well, everybody knows. We don't go work with rumors. So.
But I'm working on many great projects. We're here today at Aerofilms, which is my director agent. This is my new departure now, where I'm directing commercials and video by myself, because I've worked with my partner Marcus for many years as photographers together. But now we're doing hand in hand the stills and the video. So it's a lot of fun, and I'm having a great time doing it. And I have a book coming out next spring as well. It's with the publisher HarperCollins, and it's called Imagecraft. And it's for everyone, how to create your own image. Just like the stars, no one looks the way they do in the pictures, because no one is, every supermodel still requires an image. And so this is for everyone to create your image. It doesn't mean you're going to become the glamorous superstar necessarily, unless that's what you want to do, but to focus how you want the world to see you. If you're a doctor, you want people to understand where your heart is. If you're someone that cares about charity, or you're someone that's very into fashion, or whatever it is, you want to convey that with your face, your image, the way you're seen on the internet, in your interviews, all that kind of stuff. So.
Oh, nice. So that book is coming out when?
That's coming out next spring.
Next spring. Oh,
yeah.
God, you're a busy girl. How do you do that? Well, no, I'm sorry. I heard that a woman can do 100 things at the same time. I take it back.
Women are very good at multitasking.
Exactly.
That's why we're a little bit crazy, but...
It was interesting. This is the last. I know you have to go and you're busy, but the interesting thing today was that I saw two Bengali girls next to each other, two powerful girls, I'm just interested to know about your vision for Koena, this beautiful girl, and very, very powerful as far as the brain goes. What do you think about Koena?
Well, I love that Koena is very beautiful, and she's also very smart. And, I was just saying to her, that intelligence comes through your eyes, and it's what animates an image. And when you're shooting video or film, it adds all these layers of depth, because you see that there's a lot going on there. And I think it's so important for young women to understand that it's the intelligence that is attractive in a woman. You know, how you look physically, these things we all are given one way or another. They change, they can be enhanced. But your true intelligence, that is where a woman's real beauty lies. And Koena is fantastic because she is very, very smart. She's doing a lot of charitable work and working on projects that most people turn away from because they're things they don't want to pay attention to. She's working with these women that are disfigured by their husbands, and I think it's great that she's taking on this kind of challenge.
We're proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
And it was a pleasure.
Lovely to
And
meet you.
hopefully we come to your show.
I'd love that.
And we are going to follow you from now on because of who you are.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, your personality and all the good things. So I would love to follow you. And whenever it's possible, please let Middle East follow you. And
I love the Middle East, so I'm very happy to share my life with and what I'm doing with people that are very interesting.
and also you have a lot of people from Iran, Persians. My name is Vase of Persia, as you know. I'm a real Persian, 1000% Persian. And as you know, Persian woman is the same as Indian women. They go through the same task, they go through the same problems. And I think we found someone that we can use you as one of those powerful ladies that we can do the same school maybe in my country.
I would love that. That would be wonderful. I think women in your country are phenomenal. They manage so much and they're so strong. And bringing that strength to the society and as a whole, I think everyone benefits.
We're going to get your help for the future opening of Shakti in our country.
Wonderful.
Very nice meeting you.
Lovely
I
to
don't
meet
get enough of you, but next time
Next time.
we come to your
See you
show.
soon. Okay, great.
Bye.